this topic, you are so lucky you tuned in this video. Okay, Wise out here. All right, if you're new, subscribe. Um, yeah, subscribe if you're new. It's really important. You're watching these videos. Don't be a freeloader. How you pay your dues is subscribing to the channel. All right. How you pay your dues if to continually repay your dues if you're already subscribed is to invite new people to join the channel. Okay. Interact, engage within the comment box. Put some likes, dude. Have fun, man. Come on, don't just steal. Come and take in the content and leave in without putting a like or subscribing. I mean, that's kind of not cool, man. You getting a video for free. The least you can do is subscribe or like. All right. So let me get into this because it is truly really important. I kind of want to talk about how long you've been doing something actually doesn't even matter. It does not matter, right? People will always try to sell you on the idea that they've been doing something for a long time, which would indicate to you that they would know what they're doing. That I can't even tell you how far from the truth that is. Okay, let's just say, for an example, you learn how to. God, I try to think of like these simple analogies to make sense without going with something elaborate. And sometimes it's hard to actually think of something simple. But let's just say, for an example, let's just use this old, that old adage with the whole old guy, young guy with an axe cutting down a tree or whatever, right? Let's just say, for an example, you learn how to cut down trees. Your job is to cut down trees, right? You learn how to cut down trees 20 years ago, okay, back when they were using a good old-fashioned handsaw. They were hand-sawing things. They were, going after it. Okay, that was 20 years ago. You haven't learned a single thing. Today is 2017. You haven't learned a single thing. So 20 years ago, you learned how to hacksaw down a tree, right? In 2017, do we know, I don't know how many other hundreds of different ways to cut down a tree other than using a hacksaw? Yeah, we do. Okay, so let's say, for an example, some young cat comes along. He just learned how to cut trees the new way a year ago, right? 2016 was when he learned. 2017, all right? We're in here. We put these guys head to head. Who can cut down a tree the fastest? Doesn't matter what you use, right? You only can go on what you know. Who do you think is going to win that competition? The new guy who just started out, who just learned how to cut trees a year ago, a totally different way that's much, much more efficient, or this old guy who's been doing this thing for 20 years and he's going to use a hacksaw to cut down this huge sequoia tree? Who do you think is going to cut down the tree faster, the hacksaw guy or the new guy, the hacksaw guy who's been doing it for 20 years, or the new guy who just learned how to do it a year ago with the machine? Who's going to win? That's my point. It's not how long you've been doing something, it's how you've been doing something. That's what matters the most. Okay, so do not be fooled or convinced by people that try to tell you that they've been doing something for a long time. That's why you should listen to them, and do not buy into that. Okay, you need to find out exactly what it is they know. All right, and then to even really take it a step further, Mark Cuban, I really have a lot of respect for him. And on Shark Tank, you kind of see him going head to head with Mr. Wonderful and whatnot. And I remember one of the conversations they had, and Mr. Wonderful, he's always like, "What are your sales?" That's the first thing. He's like, "How many sales do you have?" Right? They're like, and the difference between a billionaire and 100 millionaire, Mark Cuban versus Mr. Wonderful, right? It's about 400 million or something, and Mark Cuban's at I don't know how many billion. The difference is their ability to see opportunity, right? And potential. That's what I got from that conversation, because Mr. O'Leary is talking about, what are your sales? What's the status quo? What's happening right now in your business, or what's happened in the past? That's his whole thing. But what Mark Cuban looks for is something different. He looks for your rate of growth. What's your growth rate? Let's talk about that, because that's where you can actually, scale something, is through measuring the growth rate, right? So he wants to know how far and how fast you've grown in the least amount of time, or any measurement of time. He wants to know how much you've grown. So to me, that just totally like hits everything that I believe in on the head right there in the nail. There's always another way to look at things. And I kind of like that approach, because it's not always necessarily about how many sales you have, how long you've been doing something. Sometimes there's another way to measure a result that will give you a much more accurate idea as to what it is you're measuring. So that's why I feel like, honestly, just because somebody's been doing something for a long time does not necessarily make them right all the time. And a perfect example was me the other day. I kind of got slapped in the face, yeah, because I kind of used the whole, I've been in the sneaker game for over 11 years thing, and I just jumped back in not too long ago, just caught the new Yeezys that came out. And, I was trying to get them online, the old school way, how I used to back in the day. We used to call in orders, right? On this one now, everything's changed. I haven't, been in the game in like I said, like probably, I've been in it total 11 years, haven't been active in it for about 4 or 5. So, I mean, just within 4 or 5 years, completely changed. I mean, like, you can't even call in for the Yeezys like that. They won't take phone orders anymore, right? And they also sell out the millisecond. You heard that right. I said milli, like the millisecond the product is launched, they sell out completely, immediately, right? I never seen anything like that before. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they never had anything like that. That's when, back when the Yeezys were new, kind of, yeah. But like, Jordans, was what I originally was, collecting in the beginning. It was a little bit different. Like they never used to sell out like that. Certain exclusive releases like the Dornbeckers, certain hype releases, they would sell out real quick, or the lasers, right? They would sell out real quick, but the other ones, they would kind of, sell slowly over time. But no, these just sell immediately. So the game's changed. So the reason why I'm telling you this is to say that even though I've been in the shoe business for over 11 years, the process of buying the shoes was completely new and different to me. Right, so I went in the game like thinking, oh, I got this. Like, and I might even. You got to go check it out. I'm gonna be doing something private where people will have access to that footage, right? But I might do something cool and throw like a snippet up on YouTube so you guys can see it. But yeah, like it was kind of funny because like I was all in, I'm like, yeah, man, I've been doing it. And I was like kind of, it was kind of, the irony was there. Like I knew that just because you've been doing something for a long time doesn't mean that you're going to get the result you want. But I was just kind of, playing it. So I'm like, dude, I've been doing it for 11 years. I know what I'm doing, all these people trying to do. And sure enough, I didn't get the shoes, dude. I didn't get them in the beginning. I didn't get them. It wasn't until the very last effing minute. The very last minute, and I was literally getting ready to say, you know what, screw it. I couldn't get it, right? The very last minute, I said, you know what, let me just go in here and just give it one more shot, dude. And I just went, and I hit I had the little raffle tickets for 3 places. I hit all 3 places, the first one, and the second one that I had got the ticket for had a long line. I was like, I'm not trying to wait another line. Let me go to the third one. And the third one was further down on the other side of the mall, right? So the line was practically building as I was going to check and see if the other store had any extra pairs. So I went to that third store. They told me they literally no line, nobody there. So I said, okay, that's a problem. And they said, yep, we're already sold out. We sold all our pairs that we had left over, right? So I'm like, crap. So I raced back, I kind of sped up, raced back to that line at that store, and we're waiting in line, and I'm like, damn, but now I'm waiting in line, and I don't even know if I'm going to get a pair. There's so many people. There was literally there was 10 people now. I know there was 10 people, but there's 10 actual buyers in front of me, but they had their relatives in line. So it looked like there was way more people in line than there really were. So that's kind of why I didn't go there first. Otherwise, now I know to go to where you see the line first, right? But, yeah, so they got up the line, and it was about 10 people, and the sales rep comes out, and they make an announcement. They're like, okay, now it's 3 o'clock. Now it's time to give away the extra pairs that we have, because, by the way, you can't even get those kind of shoes unless you win. It's like a lottery. It's crazy how it's changed. It's totally backwards from when I was, active in it. It's up to chance now. You got to, go and join, basically play a lottery in order to win the shoes. It's kind of ridiculous. But, they came out, made an announcement, hey, we got 11 pairs left, right? That's all we got left, right? So that's all they could sell, you know, to the people who had raffle tickets after, you know, the original people who won but didn't come pick up their shoes. They only had 11 pairs left, right? So I didn't know how many people were in line. I was just like, okay, we got 11 pairs left. So we're just all kind of hanging and waiting. And sure enough, here comes a gal. She's like, okay, we're going to start issuing the pairs. And she comes out with the clipboard and everything and looking, checking everybody's raffle tickets. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm like, oh God, 7, 8, 9, 10. And guess what, dude? Fucking number 11, dude, in the fucking final hour. The final hour, number 11, dude, came through. I was the very last customer in line to get a pair of Yeezys, this last release. So, okay, kind of lucked out on that one, but I just wanted to just show you, you know, the story was kind of cool. It's kind of fun, but the reason why I'm telling you that is just to show that, look, I was doing that. I've been in that industry for over 11 years. That does not mean that I was guaranteed to get the shoes. I got the shoes because of anybody could have persevered, right? It didn't take 11 years of experience and knowledge to know how to persevere and to stand in the line and wait to get the pair of shoes, right? So that's my point. Okay, so sorry to kind of carry on a little bit, but I just thought I'd tell you that cool story, and we're going to end it here. But like I said, okay, subscribe, invite people, post it on Facebook, use it as your mantra, man. Come on, make me feel good. This is free for y'all, man. Come on, that's the least you can do. All right, much peace, much love. We'll see you guys on the next one.